I've said it before on this podcast. You can be the smartest person in the room with the best product or service in the world. But if no one knows it, then your business will suffer. Simply put, obscurity kills. Hi, I'm Alicia Butler-Pierre, and the good news is that in this era of digitization, we have access to free or low-cost technologies that really level the playing field when it comes to promoting ourselves and our businesses. We're living in a golden age of content marketing. But what exactly is that? Why does it matter? How do you do it? You're about to learn the answers from a content marketing expert who not only champions publicity, but also the operations and business infrastructure required to support the fast growth that can come from your newfound popularity. Even better, he's going to share details about the technology he uses to streamline content marketing activities for himself and his clients. Gone are the days of placing ads in the phone book and doing door-to-door selling. With digitization, content marketing is the dominant medium for exposure. So think again before you convince yourself that this isn't something you can or should do. After all, as the adage goes, closed mouths don't get fed. This is season 14, episode 178. Let's start the show.
Welcome to Business Infrastructure, the podcast about curing back office blues of fast-growing businesses. If you're a business owner or operator looking for practical tips and solutions to scaling your business in a sustainable manner, you're in the right place. Now here's your hostess, Alicia Butler-Pierre.
Having a tough time trying to explain ideas over a video conference? Try the ThinkSmart whiteboard. It's the fastest whiteboard software in the world and allows you to upload flowcharts and write on them while your colleagues are watching remotely. Call us today for a free demo. The number is 1-866-584-6804 or visit us online at getmytablet.com. Now that's smart. Think smart. This episode is brought to you by Equilibria Incorporated, the company behind this podcast, where we design scale-ready business infrastructure for fast-growing small businesses. We are well into season 14, where our focus is on game-changing technology. And joining us in Bradenton, Florida, is Kimanzi Constable. Kimanzi is the co-founder of RGIC, a content marketing agency that helps entrepreneurs as well as businesses leverage large media publications to increase visibility, build brand authority, and grow revenue. He's authored 4 books, penned articles for over 80 publications and magazines, and has been interviewed on over 250 podcasts. So he knows a thing or two about leveraging content marketing to connect with customers. And I'm proud to be one of those customers. So Kimanzi, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so happy that you could be here for this interview.
Much for having me, Alicia. And there's even some new information since the last time you and I talked. We actually kind of don't live anywhere.
Oh, really?
I'm coming to you live from Puerto Rico right now. We're in Puerto Rico.
Nice.
We sold our house in Bradenton. We sold the house and we sold all our stuff, and we're full-time digital nomads now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. As of like a month or 2 months?
Yeah,
or
it's been,
wow.
I think we closed on the 28th. We closed on the 28th of September. So I think technically it's been a week, but we had sold all the stuff and had physically left the house like about a month ago.
Digital nomads. And I did see that on your LinkedIn profile, and I wanted to ask you about that anyway, but you've already answered that question. Wow. So are you just like living, or is the plan to just kind of live in Puerto Rico for a while and then maybe try something else, another country?
We always say it that we've built a business that allows us to have freedom, meaning we don't have to be in any one location to operate the business. And that's one of the beautiful things about business and the time we live in. And so we're going to slow travel, not stay here in Puerto Rico. I know a lot of people, business owners, come here to Puerto Rico lately because of the tax benefits that businesses can receive. the reduced taxes you could receive. But we're here because this is where my wife is from. And this is where some of her family is. And so we're connected with the heritage. But we're going to slow travel 6 weeks to 3 months in a location. And then we're going to move on to a new location. So we're leaving here, and then we're going to head back to the States for the holidays, and then Italy at the beginning of the year.
Oh, wow. Wow. Very nice. Yeah. I'm so envious. That's really nice. And speaking of your wife, Cindy Constable, your better half, she is your business partner / co-founder of RGIC. And I had the pleasure of meeting both of you at the recent 2021 Podcast Movement Conference. And Kimanzi, I've said it before, I'll say it again. You and Cindy, hands down, had the best presentation. And I know that's my opinion, but seriously, it was the best presentation. And I'm sure a lot of it had to do with the fact that it was so relevant to what I was looking for. And you all just you hit all of the points. It validated a lot of things that I thought about leveraging publications to promote not just a podcast, but your business as well. And so I'm just really appreciative of the fact that you all gave such a meaningful and value-packed presentation.
I think we're glad that you were there and that you got value. And I think that's the thing that I've come to see in entrepreneurship is that if you do have something to say, you do have a way to help people, to help clients, you can put all the information out there and people will still hire you.
Yes. Yes. And before we get into more about what you and Cindy do through your content marketing agency, I was curious, who were you in your former life, Kimanzi, before you became an entrepreneur extraordinaire, content marketing strategist? What did you do? What led up to you co-founding this company with your wife?
Yeah, I started my first business at 19 years old.
Oh, wow.
And the business, actually, it was offline business. So where I had lived in Wisconsin, we had guys that delivered to the grocery store that were independent vendors. So the people that come to your store that deliver bread, such as Oro Wheat or Bromberry, or the people that you see delivering Little Debbie or Schneider's or Hostess, those are not actually employees of those grocery stores. They're independent vendors, meaning they buy the franchise, they get all of the grocery stores within a certain territory, they deliver to those stores, service those stores, and they get 20% of the sales. And they're responsible for their own trucks, insurance, and all that good stuff. So they're independent contractors. My business was to actually run their vacation routes so that they can go on vacation. So these guys, since they're independent owners, business owners, the main company, your Hostess, your Little Debbie, if you will, they don't provide somebody for them to run their route so that they go on vacation because they're independent. And seen as though these drivers and these independent contractors invest anywhere from $200,000 to $500,000 into these franchises, they're not just going to trust anybody to run their business, right? They're not going to let them drive their trucks and use all of this equipment because this is their livelihood. So I had worked for Sara Lee Bakery, and all of these guys would see me every day delivering for Sara Lee. And one guy said one day, he's like, hey, some of us haven't gone on vacation in 12 years because we don't have anybody that we could trust. If I could train you and you proved yourself, you would never run out of business. And at that point, I never thought about entrepreneurship, but the idea of freedom really appealed to me. I'm like, all right, let's give it a shot. So I resigned from Sara Lee. He trained me. And he was right. As soon as I showed up and I did his route during the training, I had a full schedule for like 3 years. There were guys, I was in Wisconsin, there were guys calling me from California, like, hey, are you going to come out here too? And I'm like, whoa, because there's these independent vendors in every single state. So I started a vacation relief service. And the beauty of the business was I used their truck, all of their equipment. I didn't have any overhead of my own at all.
Wow.
And the business grew so fast that I ended up by the end of year one, I had 5 employees and the business was doing $500,000 a year.
Oh my gosh. At 19 years old.
At 19. And that was the business. I did that business for 12 years. And while it was an amazing and profitable business, it's still something that anybody could do to this day. It wasn't the business that I wanted to do. And more than that, I didn't have any mentors at the time that taught me about operations, that taught me about taxes, that taught me about all of the various things that people don't think about when it comes to running a business. Because I made all this money at the end of the year. Uncle Sam's like, hey, where's my cut? And in fact, you were supposed to give me my cut quarterly and you didn't. And because of that, I'm going to give you some penalties. So that's the kind of stuff that nobody had taught me about. And it meant that I was always in the business and not running the business. If I knew what I knew now, I would have been managing my guys and I would have had guys and girls and I would have had all these employees and I just would show up and check on my employees and make sure they were doing a good job. But because I mismanaged a business, I always had to be in the business. And it definitely wasn't something that I loved to do. And by 2012, I had been over it. I was tired of waking up at 3 a.m. every day. I was tired of not being there for my kids. And I was tired of the unhealthy habits that I picked up. And it was actually in 2012 when I discovered Smart Passive Income with Pat Flynn, the podcast, because I had all of this time on trucks. And when he started talking about the laptop lifestyle and building a business where you can generate revenue just from your knowledge and experience, that was what like lit a light bulb for me. And I knew that somehow I had to transition into that kind of a business.
Wow, what a story. And who would have ever thought, knowing what you do now, I would have never guessed that you had a vacation relief service. And it's such a genius idea.
Yeah, I wrote an article about this for Entrepreneur. I wrote actually a couple articles, and it was a 6-figure business you could start for under $100. And it probably still to this day is one of my most viral articles because I have gotten messages from no less than maybe 500 people all across the country that went and started the same kind of business where they live. Because it's no overhead to start. There's the only overhead you have to start is you have to go into one of those warehouses where the Pepperidge Farm guys are, the Brownberry guys, the independent vendors, and say, hey, this is who I am. This is how much I charge. I'd like to, run you out for vacation. And people start signing up because those guys don't have anybody to run their routes to go on vacation. It's an easy business.
Now, in that article, did you talk about the importance of knowing about operations and the legal and tax implications? Did you happen to mention that also?
Yeah, the article, the follow-up to the first one, I definitely did. I'm like, look, this is easy to start, but you have to understand that if you're not an entrepreneur, there's things that you definitely have to know about, professionals that you definitely have to hire.
Awesome. That's good that you paid it forward. I know. It was just starting to get good, right? Well, there's more where that came from. To listen to the full interview, be sure to click the link in the description box below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click that notification bell so that you'll know when our next episode drops. Until then, keep operating smoothly.
Join us next week for another episode of Business Infrastructure with Alicia Butler-Pierre.